Real Virginia is proudly produced by the Virginia Farm Bureau Federation. Since 1926, Farm Bureau has been working to preserve Virginia farms and our rural heritage. Visit our website at vafb.com.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia, home in my heart always.
Hello everyone and welcome to Real Virginia, a show about Virginia agriculture and the people who bring you all of the wonderful products we enjoy. Brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau.
Farmers are reminding other drivers to be extremely careful on rural roads. Summer berry season is almost here, and Chef John Maxwell has a wonderful dessert for us. And the Pick Your Own movement has really matured in Virginia.
Welcome back to Real Virginia, everyone. Highway safety is on the mind of farmers and their advocates this year after a recent fatal collision between a farmer on his tractor and a tractor trailer that was disobeying a no passing sign. The message is clear: slow down and pay attention. Now, Eddie Reynolds' wife is speaking out about the man no longer at her side. Farmer, father, husband, veteran. Burke Muller has our report.
This spring, Eddie Reynolds was doing what he always did, working on his farm in Bedford, Virginia, when tragedy struck. He was driving his tractor on U.S. Route 221, which runs adjacent to his farmland, when a tractor trailer passed him from behind. Reynolds, a 73-year-old Virginia farmer, was hit by the truck as he was making a left turn to return to his property. He leaves behind his wife of 51 years as well as 2 adult sons.
Family reunions meant a lot to him, but so did that farm. And we had to plan events around his farming, whether he had to get up cattle and take them to the market, or whether it was time to cut hay. We had paid for and were going on a trip to Ireland in June. And we planned that to coincide with when was hay cut and when was he going to Chincoteague in July. So he looked at his calendar and he said, okay, these 2 weeks will fit in. I'll be finished all the hay and it won't interfere with me going to Chincoteague. So that was what he loved. And when I said, well, let's downsize, he said, no, not yet. He said, this is the reason I get up in the morning. This is my motivation.
While there are no official statistics on fatalities involving farm equipment on Virginia highways, an unofficial tally by the Virginia Farm Bureau's Young Farmer Committee counted 1 fatal traffic accident last year and 1 so far this year. 12 Virginia farmers died from all farm accidents last year. Farm safety advocates across the state are reminding motorists to pay extra attention when traveling on rural roads.
In certain times of the year when we're moving more equipment because of harvesting and planting, they need to be on the lookout for slow-moving vehicles and realize that these pieces of equipment don't move as fast as other vehicles. They are very large and they take up a large portion of the road.
Farming was always a big part of Eddie Reynolds' life. In addition to serving in the Navy during the Vietnam War, Reynolds also mentored younger kids interested in farming and other pursuits. Reynolds was driving his tractor in a no-passing zone on that tragic day this past April. The driver who hit him ignored the no-passing signs and the solid yellow stripes on the road. Modern technology has also played a role in the increasing distractions motorists face.
I think that when you are driving in a rural area, you need to always be on the lookout for slow-moving vehicles and other, quick turns and unanticipated road changes. So when you're in a rural area, you really, really do need to take a different approach towards your driving. You need to be much more attentive and much more focused on what's going on the road around you.
A new high school driver education video has been produced by Drive Smart Virginia with the support of the Virginia Farm Bureau Federation. It drives home some of the most important tips to remember when driving on county roads. Some of the highlights include: be patient, allow time and space to pass, signal before passing, don't use your horn as a warning. The farmer's equipment is loud enough he probably won't even hear it. and don't wait for a signal to pass. Ultimately, it's your decision as the driver to go around the farm vehicle. Remember that farm vehicles are heavy equipment and don't have the same safety features as passenger vehicles.
Tractors are not designed that way. You know, these are not your typical fender benders. These are serious accidents that cause serious injuries. And an injury to a farmer can not only mean life-changing injuries, but it can cause, you know, devastating effects to that operation and that farm and the family as well.
It's a point Eddie Reynolds' family understands only too well. Pictured here with his cousin, Nicole Johnson, Reynolds was a veteran and a familiar face at Bedford's National D-Day Memorial, where he led tours and helped behind the scenes to honor the more than 4,000 Allied soldiers who were killed during that historic invasion. For Reynolds, the connection was personal. 2 of his uncles were among the 20 Bedford County men who died on Omaha Beach. He also took part in town parades and was well known in the Bedford County community.
He lived every day to the fullest. He really loved life and he loved people.
Virginia farmers hope spreading the message to slow down on rural roads will mean no other farm family will lose someone like Eddie Reynolds. In Bedford County, Virginia, I'm Burke Moeller reporting.
Farming was considered the nation's most dangerous occupation last year, according to the U.S. Department of Labor. Traffic accidents involving farm equipment are one cause, but even more farmers die from becoming entangled in high-speed equipment or trapped in grain elevators or grain augers. Tractor rollovers are another common cause of death, and some cattle producers have been badly hurt or crushed by livestock. One reason farm fatalities are so high is most producers work alone in remote areas where emergency care is slow to arrive. In 2016, 417 farmers and farm workers died in the U.S. from a work-related injury.
I'm Mark Viette. Coming up on In the Garden, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite plants that you can think about adding around your home. Stay with us.
Farm Bureau is the insurance provider of choice for farmers. But did you know all Virginians can benefit? In fact, most of our members are not farmers. Members may take advantage of discounts on selected autos, trucks, mowers, and tractors on top of the many insurance offerings. Your $40 membership will easily pay for itself with their many savings options as well. Farm Bureau is made for Virginians. To learn more about the membership advantage, go to vafb.com or visit your local Farm Bureau.
Evergreen trees are popular all across the Old Dominion, and Mark Viette has some favorites that he uses all the time in his landscape designs in the garden.
One of my favorite small evergreen trees, probably only gets about 20 to 30 feet, is known as the dragon eye pine. And if you look, it's got a lot of variegation in the foliage. It's just not solid green. It's got white and green, and it's just a fantastic plant for your garden, and you can just see the beautiful color this has. I like to plant plants in a place where they fill that space but don't get too big. This is one of the beautiful dwarf arborvitae, and they come in a variety of colors. It is important if you get one and you're going to plant it close to the home like this, that it is dwarf and you find out what the maximum height. Maximum height on this might be maybe 8 feet, but it has beautiful different colored foliage, especially during the winter or fall. But this is related to the giant arborvitae, which can get 40, 50, 60 feet tall, which I don't always recommend. One of my favorite evergreens is the gold mop cypress, also known as threadleaf cypress. But if you look behind me, it's pretty big. Many of us have this planted around our homes as a foundation plant. This is 40 years old. So when we planted it, we thought it was going to stay small, but as you can see, it really got big. So if you plant this, make sure you give it plenty of room. It's not going to stay nice and little just like this unless you really get a special dwarf. But again, the gold mop cypress is a great plant for bright color, and it glows in the garden. boxwoods are great additions to the garden. They're deer resistant. They'll grow in a wide variety of conditions. They'll grow in full sun, but they'll also grow in bright shade. Some of the things that I like about the boxwoods are that you can get different sizes, different heights, different varieties. One of the things I would look for if you're going to buy boxwoods is the maximum height and shape, but also look into the disease resistance. Some varieties have a better disease resistance than others. I like, Green Mound, Green Mountain. I mean, there's so many great, neat varieties that you can have in the garden. There's some that are columnar, and there's some that are sort of rounded, and there's some that are even flat in their growth. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
For more garden tips, go to inthegardenradio.com. Summer berry season is here, and Chef John Maxwell fries up some blackberry treats for us next in the heart of the home.
And now, a sneak peek into a day in the life of a Virginia dairy cow. They get their day started. They have some lunch. Get some exercise. Spend time with their friends. And then end their day with dairy sweet dreams. Real dairy, real life, real delicious.
Fresh Virginia blackberries are a burst of flavor in your mouth every summer. And Chef John Maxwell has a recipe for fritters that includes blackberries in the heart of the home.
Hi, welcome to the Heart of the Home. I'm Chef John Maxwell, and we're here in Doswell, Virginia at Meadow Hall, where every week we get a chance to play with some great Virginia food. It's perfect time this year for blackberries. They're just busting out everywhere. So today we're going to be doing something with some blackberries that I think you'll really enjoy. We're going to be doing some fritters. I've got blackberries, and I've got eggs, and I've got flour, and all those kinds of good frittery things. I've already sifted together the flour, the sugar, the baking powder, and a little bit of salt, right, to make sure that my dry ingredients are sifted and any of the clumps, lumps, or whatevers are out of here. So that's taken care of. Right? I'm going to set this over on this side. And now I'm going to whisk these egg whites until they're peaks. Right? I don't like using an electric mixer because it makes too much noise, and then I have to clean that whole thing again. So I'm just okay. This is whipped fairly well. I'm going to put this over here and scrape these egg whites down into the flour. All right. And I'm just going to fold this stuff in here gently. All right. It will get thick, and I'm going to add some milk. But I don't want to collapse those egg whites. So there's one milk. Just nice and gently, just a rounding motion. And they can twist this, but we don't want to whisk it. Once it gets reasonably well mixed, I'm going to go to a spatula for it. Add a little bit more milk. Okay, so now we've got this fritter mix mixed, all combined well. There's no lumps of flour in here. Everything's spread smoothly. So now I'm going to add some blackberries to this. All right. And again, we want to fold these in. We don't want to mix them too hard because I want the whole blackberry to be in the batter. So every bite will have a pop of blackberry. right, so let's see how we're doing with this. Move this over here, close to my fryer. I'm going to take a little bit of this fritter mix. Make sure I got blackberries in each one. Okay, that'll get us started. And you see that they're frying up really nice. They'll pop up to the top and roll around there, getting a little bit browner, and then we'll pull them out. All right, I'm just about ready to pull these out. Let me move this over a little bit. I'm going to put down a little piece of paper towel so I can drain them some, right, as they come out of the fryer. Ah. Beautiful. Get that over there. Get them up onto this plate. And we're going to dust this off a little bit because there's not enough white in this shot. So. All right. There we go. Blackberry fritters, fresh from the garden, straight to you. So join us next week on Heart of the Home, where we get to play with great Virginia food.
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafb.com, as well as on Chef Maxwell's website at chefjohnmaxwell.com. Fresh Virginia berries are at their peak in the summertime. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, loganberries, boysenberries, and of course strawberries are all in season sometime in the warm weather. Products like these are typically sold at farmers markets or pick-your-own operations. 772 Virginia farms sell fresh berries, and many of them raise several varieties. The most popular berry products are blueberries, followed by blackberries and strawberries. The total value of all berry sales in the Old Dominion has almost doubled in recent years to $7.5 million.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
We have 37 parks across the Commonwealth. Every year, 10 million visitors enjoy 600 miles of trails from beaches to mountains, hundreds of cabins and campsites, even yurts. We are Virginia State Parks.
Pick Your Own farms are already busy welcoming customers across the Old Dominion this summer. As Dave Miller reports, some of these family-owned businesses have been in operation long enough that they're starting to think about passing on to the next generation.
Strawberry season just wrapped up here in the Old Dominion, and plenty of other pick-your-own opportunities are on their way. Every year, consumers can pick apples, pears, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, pumpkins, and sweet corn right from the farm. The Hunt family has run Westmoreland Berry Farm since the late 1970s and welcomed thousands of families and school children.
Sometimes we make jam, but mostly they just eat them. They love strawberries.
They have really yummy ice cream sundaes, whatever's in season, strawberry, or either they have Melba when the peaches come in. And they have field trips down here for school kids too. I've been down for that many years ago. So
the variety and different kind of berries that you can pick, and apples and peaches and pears. Oh, they love it. They run up and down picking the strawberries. Every now and then taste test one.
My mom and dad bought the land in the late 70s and realized that it was beautiful along the Rappahannock River. they weren't sure quite what they wanted to do with it, and after talking to a few people, just decided to raise berries, grow berries.
The latest generation of the Hunt family to run Westmoreland Berry Farm says it's a labor of love. About 1/3 of their produce is pick your own. The rest is sold at their farm store or to local grocery stores. They've built a tremendous customer base, but there are always production challenges.
I love the hard work. I love the challenges of it. I just like when I come in at night, my wife will say to me, "You stink like diesel," and I say, "Thank you, I had a good day."
The first crop is asparagus, and that's wonderful. It doesn't come from Peru, it comes from here in Westmoreland County. Then come the strawberries. After that we have blueberries, blackberries, black raspberries, which are very popular, red raspberries. We also grow peaches, nectarines, sweet cherries, pie cherries, plums, and apricots, which are all stone fruits.
Mike Wallace of the Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services says many beginning farmers have traditionally started pick-your-own operations to give them a financial boost.
For the farmer, it helps them diversify their business model and add to because it reduces their labor costs. It also adds agritourism, and that's really beneficial for new farmers that really don't have that capital to really come in, hire laborers to come in and pick that fruit or vegetables. They can actually have the public do it themselves.
At College Run Farms in Surrey County, the Berryman family is celebrating 2 decades in the pick-your-own business. Steve Berryman is the 3rd generation farming at the Virginia Century Farm. He chose pick-your-own farming when he graduated from college.
When I was coming back, some of the commodity prices weren't that good, so we were looking for something different to get into, and had a few friends that were growing strawberries in other areas of the state. And that's what we did. We decided to plant 2 acres of strawberries in 1999.
We also make and sell homemade ice cream here on site, and we use the fruits from our crop to make our ice cream. We have strawberry in the spring, blueberry in the summer, and pumpkin in the fall. So that is a big draw for customers. In fact, we have some customers that even tell us that they're really just here for the ice cream, but they might pick a quart of berries since they're here anyway.
Like all farmers, the Berrymans work through the challenges like wildlife damage and weather. It's either too dry or too wet. One advantage is they were pioneers in using social media to build a customer base. It's been several years since they've advertised in local papers. All their customer communications is by Facebook and other electronic sites. Just like other producers, pick-your-own growers have to decide if and how to pass the business to the next generation. The Hunts are not sure if their children want to take over the farm. The Berrymans have their 2 sons working with them in hopes they'll want to take over someday.
Our kids get to be here with us every day. Our parents are big parts of our success. We could not have done it without them in the past, without his parents and my parents. Even our siblings have played a part. So it is fun in that aspect because we get to basically be with our family while we work. So you can't really get much better than that, for sure.
Whether they're new to the business or have been around for decades, pick-your-own farmers are on the front lines of Virginia agriculture, producing healthy local food for all of us. I'm Dave Miller.
We're so glad you could join us to celebrate all the bounty that Virginia has to offer. From your kitchen to your lawn and garden to our wide open spaces, we're proud to say that this is real Virginia. So for everyone from the Virginia Farm Bureau, thanks for watching and make it a great week.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia.